Morning, Donna. I know, right? Yeah.
I don't forget, so I wrote down a big note.
And I couldn't quite get the temperature of the room right on Monday. Because it felt, because it was cold out, but then I thought with that many people that it would get warm. So then I didn't, but then I realized by the end of class that the AC was actually pretty low, like it was set low. So yeah, I thought it got a little cold at the end.
Too cold for me.
I know, I'm kind of with you.
There's some troubles going on this morning. I picked up that tree and
She's yeah, she's okay right now. 2 weeks until her sweet 16.
Ooh, 2 weeks until?
Yes, from yesterday, February 1st. So we're zeroing in on it.
Okay, so.
And I think typical teenager, she's being indecisive as far as what type of celebration she wants, because she knew, like, you know, I think when a kid has a bat mitzvah at 13, there's really not going to be the grandiose sweet 16. But so I think she's finally settled on though, like a picnic at Baker Park and just have it be easy. So yeah, but then, you know, I wouldn't be me without them trying to throw in an extra element. So, you know, those companies that are setting up the really nice picnics with the not couches, but like, they bring cushions and a low table, and it just, you know, just you see them on the beach sometimes. So see if I can maybe rig a surprise. So where she'll think that, you know, it's like super casual, but then have that be the surprise element. So, but it's really hard to plan that when she's being indecisive. But yeah, it'll be fun.
The teenagers.
She has to compete that weekend. She's a gymnast, so she's got to meet and she'll compete on Sunday. So it'll be a very busy week. Yeah, kind of 5 days. But all good, all good. Do y'all remember when you were 16? Once, kind of, sort of. Yeah. I know. It's funny. I definitely remember my 16th birthday, and one of Julia's friends is turning 18. And then it made me think about turning 18. And I have zero recollection. I was dating a guy through junior and senior year of high school, and I was actually going to text him and say, do you remember what we did? I mean, we were seniors in high school, and it was December. I don't know. No clue.
That might not go well with his wife.
No, we've been in touch. We've been in touch. She's it's good. Yeah, I think above all, we were such good friends that we've been able to maintain that. Yeah, it is. He's all the way out in Oregon. Hello. Are you joining our class?
I love my matter.
Oh. Did it get put in the closet, maybe?
The light is over on the left. Men's workout this morning.
Oh.
So
I
much
know.
to do. He was looking forward to just having more.
Did you check the men's room?
Okay, Mr. Chair, you can-
Because I left mine the last time, and that's what I left in the ladies.
someday.
Like, are there lockers? Would somebody put it in a locker?
Maybe. See, look how this is like.
I love that. Oh, gosh, I don't remember us selling that color. I love that one. I know Mindy hasn't decided yet on ordering new merchandise. So, yeah, so I know. Yeah, that's a great one. All right, I'm gonna put the air on just a touch. So how is everybody? Anybody have any questions so far on meditation in general and what we've been doing in this class?
No questions, it just feels good.
Feels good. That's great. That's great. So meditation, similar to restorative yoga, is a kind of a hard ask, right? But as you practice it, it's almost like a welcoming home. Yeah. So when we allow ourselves to tune in, have a soul focus, and we use our breath, usually I'll cue you to really tune into the breath as we move into the meditation toward the end of practice. We're actually going to start on our stomachs this morning. Let me explain for a moment. So there's a lot of different breathing techniques that we do, and I know I've taught alternate nostril breathing, square breath. Most of them we do seated or standing. So when we lie on our bellies, we're forcing the breath to come from our diaphragm. And by doing so, it triggers a response, a neurological response in our bodies to tell our nervous system to, and sometimes we think that we're already at a relaxed state, but then when we really focus on the breath, we really focus on having our bodies meet the support of the ground, that we're able to let go even more and feel that stress, that anxiety, whatever it is that we're storing. And it could be, I had a friend tell me the other day, she was doing some squats and all of a sudden her thigh just started burning. And she's very, very in tune with well, metaphysical and stuff, but she had a traumatic experience when she was a kid. And that memory, those memories store in our bodies. And unless we do practices like yoga and meditation, and maybe if you've gone, even like acupuncture and some of those things are really just band-aids, but this really invites us to release tension from our bodies. And that's when healing can start. So if there are parts of your body, I know like right here for me today is sore. It's an old injury from when I was a teenager. But those ailments move around your body. So when we practice, you can send the breath to those areas of the body and invite in healing. But the more you're able to trigger that parasympathetic response to allow your body to rest and release tension, that's when you can invite healing. So crocodile pose. So let's start to move toward our bellies. So you'll come all the way down on your belly and take a look at my legs. I'm gonna separate my legs and I'm gonna turn my feet out and flex them a little bit so the inner ankles fall to the mat. And then everybody's gonna position their head a little differently. So start by stacking your hands, elbows out a little wider, and bring your forehead to the backs of your hands. If that feels good for the neck, you can stay there. You could also try stacking your forearms, see if it feels better to have your forehead lifted a little higher. And the other option is to separate the arms fully and have your forehead rest on the mat. So we're going to be here for about 5 minutes. So for those joining us online, thank you so much. Hopefully you saw that demonstration. I know your videos are off, so I'll trust that you're with us. The shoulders slightly raised. But as you begin to invite the inhales and exhales, maybe find a softening of the shoulders. As you inhale, really feel the belly press into the floor. And on your exhale, feel the breath maybe move to the low back area. So as you inhale and feel the belly pressing into the floor, with this added resistance, we're helping to strengthen our diaphragm. We're also activating our solar plexus, which is that energy center that lies just beneath your breastbone, the middle of the rib cage area. Softening the gaze or eyes closed completely. Begin to soften the face. Soften the jaw. Soften the shoulders. The abdomen. The pelvis, legs and feet. Begin to notice where your attention is going. Maybe to the mid-torso area where you're noticing the breath coming from. Or maybe to the back. With us lying down on our belly, it allows our back to be free of any effort. So really feel on your inhales and exhales where the breath is traveling to. Feeling the flow of your breath at your own rhythm and pace. And allowing your nervous system to quiet. The breath filling the low back and sides at the waist. With our chest immobilized, feeling the breath moving from the diaphragm. And just 5 more rounds of breath here. Just noticing how the body feels right now versus when you first started. This pose is available at any time in your day. If you are noticing that you're overly anxious or stressed, just taking 5 minutes in this crocodile pose can help. So turning the feet, so the tops of the feet come to the mat, the legs come closer together. Slide your hands alongside your body. Tuck your toes under, push your seat back to your heels. Big long stretch, so really lengthening the arms and lengthening the spine, feeling a little bit of weight. So your toes are stretching, all 10 toes meeting the mat. And then inhale to tabletop, turning the tops of the feet to the mat. And just take a moment here to draw the belly in. Feel the shoulders squared. And then pushing your seat to your heels, dropping off onto your left hip and swinging the legs around in front of you. And then crossing the legs, finding Sukhasana. Just welcoming ourselves back to the space, bringing our hands to our heart center, soften the eyes or close them completely. And just take a moment here to notice how the body feels right now after about 5 minutes of diaphragmatic breathing. And setting your intention for your practice today, I invite you to set it as it relates to the breath. Might sound really simple, but when we bring extra awareness to our breath, maybe it'll invite you to take pauses throughout your day to breathe, to notice your breath. By noticing our breath, we become more present. And then dedicate your practice to a person in your life who you feel that you can breathe naturally around, someone who makes you feel so comfortable that your breath is in its natural state. And let's open with the sound of Om. So first clear the breath out fully, take a deep inhale. Sigh the breath out through the mouth. And then inhale. And flickering the eyes open. Let's bring our knees together, feet on the mat. Get a little music going. And coming to this teepee pose where the knees are coming toward each other. Wrap the left arm in front of the knees, bring the right hand behind, moving into a twist to the right. So 5 full breaths there. And as you inhale, feel lengthening of your spine. And on your exhale, moving into the twist gradually. And maybe turning the head to look over the right shoulder as only as far as what's comfortable. One more full inhale and exhale. And then inhale through center, wrap the right arm in front of the knees, take the left hand behind, using it as a kickstand behind you. And then coming into the twist on the other side. See if you could soften the shoulders a little bit. Feel like you're balanced on your sits bones, and that the twist is coming from your navel up. Breathe in And breathe out. Another full inhale. And then exhale, coming through center. Extend the legs out in front of you and just give them a little shake. Windshield wiper the knees, or the knees and the feet. Then we're going to do one more twist here. So bring the right knee into the chest and step it over the left leg. And root down, really press down into the toe ball mound of this right foot. Take the right hand behind, so similar to what we just did, using it as a kickstand. Inhale, left arm up by the ear. So finding length first, and then exhale into the twist, maybe hooking this left elbow with the right knee. So 5 breaths here. If you press into the toe ball mound a little bit more, you might feel some expansiveness in the pelvic area. And then also try and keep that left leg active. So flexing the left foot a little bit. And just notice if you make any little micro adjustments, how that changes the pose for you, how your body responds to it. And then inhale, we'll come through center, turn to the left, and just bend the elbows a little bit, leaning down for a counter twist. And lift back up, release that right leg, shake out the legs, windshield wiper the feet. Drawing left knee into the chest, stepping it over the right leg. Left hand coming behind, so root down through the sits bones. So forward, the chest reaching forward. Engage this right leg, flex the right foot. Inhale, right arm up by the ear. So finding length first, and then exhale into the twist. So when we take our time to come into a pose, we are coming into it with better alignment, which then helps our body to feel the stretch. Our muscles, our joints, our tissue. One more full inhale, feel the spine lengthen. On your exhale, move into the twist, maybe just a little deeper. And then inhale through center and bending at the elbows, just leaning down into this counter twist. And release that left leg, shake out the legs again. And then we'll cross at the ankles, roll forward to tabletop. Engaging our core here by drawing the navel toward the spine, spread your fingers. Feel strong across the upper back. Inhale as you lift the crown of your head, tilting your tailbone up, finding cow pose. And then exhale, tuck your tailbone under, bring your chin to your chest, round the spine into cat pose. Inhale into cow. Exhale into cat. So keep moving like that and feel like your core is engaged the whole time. So even in cow pose, when it's lengthening a little bit more, feel the engagement. And then with cat pose, you're drawing it in even more. In cow, when we keep that engagement, then our belly's not going to sag down. And we're toning and strengthening those muscles in our core. And finishing up with cat pose. And then finding neutral, extend the right leg behind you and drop that right heel down. So push back so you get a nice deep stretch in the right back of the right leg.
One more full inhale and exhale. And then rock forward and lift that right leg up. So making sure that your hips stay level. If you turn the right toes to the mat, that usually helps to level out the hips. And then inhale, left arm up by the ear. So finding our spinal balance. And that left palm is turning to this right wall. So when we turn the palm to face the wall, we help soften this left shoulder. So then you externally rotate that left shoulder by turning the palm. And then lower the hand down, cross the right leg behind you, coming into a side stretch here. So don't collapse the chest. Keep pressing into the arms, and then turn your head to look over the left shoulder, deepening that side stretch for the right side. A little Beatles song here. The words of this song actually, it's I, me, mine. Talks about removing the ego. So letting go of expectations and being present. And then inhale, lifting that leg back up. Bring that right knee to meet the left. Take your knees wide, bring your toes to touch. Push your seat back to your heels, finding a wide-legged child's pose. Dropping the forehead to the mat or to a block. And with each inhale and exhale, seeing if your seat can move toward your heels a little bit more, sinking down into this pose. And noticing your breath in your belly here. Might feel a little similar to crocodile pose, a little restriction. And next inhale lifts you back up to tabletop, bringing the knees under the hips again. And then we'll do the other side, extend the left leg behind you. So you're resting on your toes, and then drop that left heel down. So big stretch for the back of that left calf, that left leg. Inhale, rock forward, so shoulders are over wrists, and then lift that left leg. Engage the belly. Inhale, right arm up by the ear, that palm now turning to this TV wall. So when we're in spinal balance, think about lengthening. Think about, so that back foot is flexed. Push the heel toward the windows and then reach through the right fingertips. Beautiful, everyone. And just notice the balance. Lowering that right hand down, cross the left leg behind you. Stay strong in the shoulder, shoulders are squared. And then look over the right shoulder, catch a glimpse of your big toe, and feeling that stretch now for the left side body. Again, try not to collapse in the shoulders, so keep the shoulders square now. And then come up on your toe. Feel that stretch along, especially for the hip flexor. So breathing in, and then lifting that leg, bringing the knee back to meet the other knee, and then dropping down to our forearms. Interlace your fingers, have your elbows directly under your shoulders, and then step one leg back and then the other. Drop your hips so that you're creating forearm plank. So Darlene, see if you can lower the hips. Beautiful, everyone. Long line of energy. So really draw inward here. Feeling that fire in your belly. giving you the strength to hold this pose. And then rock a little forward, come onto the tops of your feet, lower your knees, thighs, hips down. Take your forearms to the mat, coming into Sphinx pose. Our elbows are under our shoulders. So if they turned out to the sides, bring them in. So the energy for this pose comes from our legs. If you feel an overarching of your back, turn your pubic bone toward the mat, and that might help you feel a greater lift in the chest. Gaze is looking ahead of your fingertips. And just as you breathe, feel that energy come from your toes, up your legs, low back, spine, and out through the crown of your head. One more full inhale. And then exhale, lowering down, slide your hands by your lowest set of ribs. Draw the elbows in toward your side bodies, tuck your toes under, push yourself up and back. And then lift your shins and knees off the mat. Notice how you're still extended in the arms and spine. So push your low belly to your thighs. And now begin to straighten the legs. Walk out your downward facing dog by dropping one heel and bending the alternate knee. Keep the belly drawing in, the navel, hips lifting to the sky. And then lift up on your tiptoes, look between your hands and walk your feet up to the top of your mat. And then lift up halfway. And grab your blocks. Place your blocks on either side of your feet at the highest level. And separate, take them out to the edges of your mat. Actually, take them out to the wood. And then bring your right foot behind your left and place it on the side, the left side of your left foot. And then you can bring the blocks in a little closer now if you want. And then you're gonna slightly bend the left knee. Everybody feel that stretch in the other leg? Breathe into it. We're creating some space in our hamstring muscle, which is notoriously tight. So just a little different version of our forward fold. One more full inhale and exhale. On your next inhale, bring that right foot alongside the left. So adjust the blocks as you need to, and then take the left foot behind and then to the side of the right foot. Blocks under shoulders, and then a slight bend of the right knee as that left leg is straightening and extending and feeling the fold. And with the support of the blocks, it allows us to focus more on meeting our stretch versus feeling like we have to overstretch into it. And then next inhale, bring that foot alongside the other foot, and inhale, lift up halfway. Bring your hands to your hips and lift with a flat back to standing. Start to bend your knees, taking your seat back by your heels. Inhale the arms up by the ears for chair pose. Wiggle your toes. Bring the hands to heart center. Twist to the right. Full breath in. Check in with your knees, making sure your knees are in line with each other. And then inhale, hands to heart center, float them up by the ear, stand. Reach up, arch the upper back. Feel the chest open. And then hands to heart center. Bending the knees. Bring your feet towards your heels. Arms up by the ears, chair pose. Hands to heart center. Twist to the left. Notice if your knees stayed in line, you might need to shift a hip back if one knee is moving forward. And then inhale, hands to heart center, straighten the legs, come into forward fold. You can use blocks to support yourself. And then lift up halfway, bring the blocks alongside to frame your feet at the middle height. Bend your knees and take that right leg back for low lunge and then drop the right heel down. Uncurl the toe, bring the blocks under your shoulders. Finding Anjaneyasana. Inhale the arms up by the ears. Exhale, cactus arms. Inhale, lifting them up by the ears, but shoulders are soft. Exhale to cactus arms. Inhale and exhale. Bring the hands to the blocks. So your arms are right under your shoulders. And now flip the left toes up. So you're resting on your left heel. So you can stay here. This is moving into half Hanumanasana, a half split. Flexing this left foot, drawing it back. That might be a big enough stretch for your left leg. Or you might choose to hinge forward. But notice how my spine is staying long. I'm not rounding into the stretch. I'm hinging forward, bringing my chest toward the left knee. And then inhale to lift back up. Plant your left foot down, bring the blocks forward to frame that left foot. Curl the right toes under, lift to a low lunge. And now straighten the left knee, straighten the left leg. Long pyramid pose. Lift that right heel up and turn those toes to face forward. So both legs are fully extended and that right heel is lifted up. And put a little bend in that left knee, step the right foot forward. Inhale, lift up halfway. And exhale, fold. Inhale, sweep the arms around, overhead, palms touch. And exhale, hands to heart center. Sweep the arms overhead. We'll do a little side bending. So interlace the fingers and index fingers together, reaching up. So on your inhale, lengthen. Exhale, side bend to the left. Inhale, come through center, side bend to the right. Inhale through center, side bend to the left. Inhale through center, side bend to the right. And then separate the arms, dive forward, forward fold, bend the knees. Take that left leg all the way back. Dropping left knee down. Uncurl the toes and then bring those blocks under your shoulders. So finding your center here, your midline. Inhale the arms up by the ears. Interlace the fingers and cradle the head. Let the head rest in your hands and your fingers as you take the elbows back a little bit as you lift your chest. If there's any tightness in the low back with this, try and tuck your tailbone under. Just feel the lengthening up, the chest wide open, Imagine nostrils on your heart, breathing directly into the heart space. And then exhale, hands back to the blocks. Okay. Now keep the hands on the blocks and flip the right toes up, finding half Hanumanasana on this side. And again, this leg might be different. This side might be tighter or looser. So flexing this right foot might be enough for you. If you want to start to hinge forward, lowering down, think about lengthening your spine as you hinge forward. It's a different stretch than if you round into the fold. Breathe in and breathe out, even in deep breaths. And then inhale to lift back up. Planting this right foot, frame your right foot, tuck your left toes under, and so you're on your left toes, that left heel is lifted, and now straighten the right leg for a long pyramid pose. Breathe in and out. If you feel like your right hip is leaning forward, draw it back to level out the sacrum. Put a little bend in the right knee, draw that left foot to meet the right, and lift up halfway. Fold, Uttanasana. Bend the knees, roll up to standing. Inhale the arms, floating them overhead. Exhale, hands to heart center and forward fold, hands on blocks, bend the knees, take both feet back, finding plank pose on your blocks. And then drop your knees down, move the blocks to the side. So we're gonna lower down in what we call a yogi push-up. Rotate your elbow creases to the front of your mat. As you lower, look at my whole upper torso is lowering at the same time. I hug my elbows into the side body and coming onto our bellies. Take your arms alongside and turn your left cheek to the mat. Full breath in, full breath out. Turn your right cheek to the mat. And then forehead to the mat. Hands come alongside, push your seat back to your heels, rock off on your left hip and swing the legs out in front of you again. So we'll do some forward folds to finish the physical part of the practice. Forward folds, similar to crocodile pose, help to trigger a response in our nervous system. They invite us to turn inward. So we'll do 5 breaths in each of the forward folds. And it's really nice to soften the eyes or close the eyes completely and tune into the breath. But if closing the eyes isn't comfortable for you, then it's fine. Let's draw our right knee into the chest. Let it drop out to the side. So the sole of the foot coming to the inside. So this is called Janu Shirsasana. You might rock a little forward to move the flesh away from the sit bone. Inhale the arms up and a slight micro twist to the left. And then lengthen as you fold. Extending out over this left leg, keeping the left foot flexed. Breathe in, breathe out. As you tune into the breath, notice where the breath is starting and moving to, and then the exhale. Feeling the exhale move maybe to the belly or the low back. One more full inhale and exhale. And then inhale to lift up and take this left leg out to the side and then straighten the right leg coming into Upavista Konasana. Inhale the arms up by the ears. Again, we're hinging forward. Feel like you're reaching your fingertips to the mirrors. And then at the point that you're going to round the spine, bring the hands down to the floor, keeping the knees and the toes facing the ceiling. And soften your gaze, bringing your attention to your breath. Sometimes it's helpful to add a count to the breath. So breathing, inhaling to 4, exhaling to 4. One more full inhale and exhale. And then inhale to lift up. So I've been mirroring you. I have to remember which leg. Left leg comes in. Thank you. And then slide that right leg towards center. Flex the right foot. Inhale the arms up. Slight micro twist to the right. Folding, extending, lengthening the spine. Almost like you're in a conversation with yourself and with the breath. So noticing where the breath is moving to, maybe to the parts of the body that are hurting, that are experiencing discomfort. Inviting in gratitude for being here on your mat, knowing that it's maybe not going to be immediate, but over time to see how your practice unfolds. Inhale, lifting back up, and then bring the right sole of the foot to meet the left. Interlace the fingers around the feet. I like to, like you're opening the pages of a book, take your thumbs and spread your feet so they're opening up to the sky. That feel a little different for your low back or your pelvic. And then lengthening up. You can stay here in this vertical position of the pose, or you can start to hinge forward. Soften the shoulders, soften the brow muscle in your forehead. And inhale to reach up, and then extend the legs out in front of you. Give a little shake, windshield wiper the feet. And then we're going to come into hero's pose for our meditative seat. So you may bend both knees to swing them around, and then either one block or two. So you bring the block, so the short sides are in between your ankle bones. So you'll have to see if you need 1 or 2 blocks. The sits bones sit evenly on the stack or the one block, and then drawing the knees toward one another. If you can bring those knees a little closer together. So finding alignment in our spine, beautiful. And feeling one is So we're going to invite in some imagery to move into our silent part of the meditation. So as you said, try and have the tops of the feet, so maybe not as moving in, but so that you've got a straight line from the knee.
Is that okay?
Looks, yeah,
Feeling my ankles.
too much pressure. Do you have a second block?
Do you think I need one?
Better, yeah, that was better. All right. It's worth taking the time to find the seat. All right, so softening your gaze or closing the eyes now. We'll first do 3-part yogic breath. So bringing one hand over your heart space, one hand to your low belly. Take a full inhale through the nose and exhale it out through the nose. And now inhale 1/3 of the breath, another third, another third, and exhale 1/3, a third, and a third. So keep moving like that at your own pace and noticing the diaphragm working. So tying in our crocodile pose with this pranayama, knowing that you have a greater awareness of the breath in your body. So noticing where you're feeling the breath. Noticing how it feels as it expands the rib cage, how it feels in the lungs. In the chest. And then finish up the round that you're on. And as you finish exhaling the breath out completely, let the hands just come to fall right in the middle of your thighs, just one hand resting in the other hand, allowing the shoulders to be soft. Letting your breath fall to its natural state. And then as a thought comes to your mind, I want you to picture a cloud. Place that thought on the cloud and watch the cloud move away. If another thought comes to your mind, placing it on another cloud, and just like how the clouds move in the sky, the cloud moves off to the side. And in the spaces in between the thoughts, bringing your attention back to your breath. And maybe noticing that the thoughts are coming less.
If at any point the breath feels short, trying to elongate the exhale. Allowing yourself to drop into this state of stillness and quiet. It's okay to notice a sound, a passing sound. You might feel the urge to scratch an itch. And when those urges come, just bring yourself back to focusing on your inhale and your exhale, or using that cloud to move the thought out of your mind. Acknowledging, embracing any sensations that are coming up for you. Anything from anxiousness to relaxation. Just continuing to focus on the breath as you just flicker the eyes open enough to move onto your back to find Shavasana, our corpse pose. Extending the legs out, arms coming down to the floor, turning the palms to face up so the shoulders can soften. Sharing a poem by Morgan Harper Nichols from her book, All Along You Were Blooming. When you catch a glimpse of your reflection and all you can see are the very things you fear, do not be afraid, for light will meet you there. And even though every flaw has been illuminated here, there is no reason to fear. For there is beauty to be seen amidst the scars that have marked you. And whether they are easily seen, or you are the only one who seems to notice they are there, you are free to cast away those anxious cares and fix your eyes on the wholeness light revealed. And it will not be easy facing the mirror each morning, but perhaps you can be patient with yourself, remembering that seeing the wholeness of these scars is a part of getting to know who you are. Our meditation practice helps us to connect with our wholeness, with that light that lies within each of us. Allowing the tongue to feel voluminous in your mouth. Letting the tongue drop away from the roof of your mouth. The jaw unhinged. Effortless legs, effortless arms. Feeling the ground meet your body so you can let go of what you're holding up. Feeling the outline of your body expand. And begin to deepen your breath now and invite small movements back in, wiggling your fingers and your toes, but trying to hold on to a state of relaxation. Maybe floating the arms overhead on your inhale and down alongside your body on your exhale. And then drawing the knees into your chest. Rocking onto your right side. Taking a couple breaths there to invite in more awareness into the body and mind. And then when you're ready, lifting yourself up to sitting with your legs crossed. Maybe closing the eyes again or softening the gaze. Bring your hands to your heart center and bow your head softly toward your heart. And draw in gratitude and thanks for being here, for being open to this practice. Recalling the intention you set about the breath. Meditation can be done throughout the day simply by just pausing and taking 3 breaths and returning to this response in your body that you now know. Closing our practice with the sound of Om, take a full inhale and exhale the breath out fully. The light in me sees and honors the light in each of you. Honor and a privilege to lead you in this practice. Namaste. Thank you all so much. Good. Yay. Yeah. Yeah, it is. And the more that you go there, the faster it will be to move into that space. You're welcome.
yours or what I was
Oh, I did get my purple one. It looks chewed up for my dog. Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, that would be fine.
All the love.
I know. I know.
You know, he's good mostly.